You may have seen the episode I did on street dogs. Well, I thought this time I could do one on the street cats, because there's just as many street cats as there are street dogs, but you don't see the street cats as often. Hello, want some attention? No? Clearly not. With the street dogs, quite often they'll approach you, either because they want some attention, or they want some food, or because they want to bark at you and warn you you're getting close to their territory. But with the cats, they prefer to keep a much lower profile. My word, you're fluffy, aren't you? Nature's blessed him with a nice thick coat. Got him through the winter. Speaking of which, this is a photo I took of surely the most northerly street cat in the world. He lives on Svalbard, which is getting on for the North Pole. Note how thick his fur is, even on his tail. This is Paella, an ex-street cat who was staying for a while at my hotel and would just wander into my room sometimes without knocking and would just have a nose around while not registering my presence at all. There seems to be a little gathering of street cats happening outside my window here. 3 at the moment. Not one there, sort of just walked down the gutter, walking in the gutter there like a ready-made path, and then I think they're off to do some exploring. I just noticed a little kitten outside the window, and she's having to go back on herself there because the drain pipe that normally goes to there has disappeared. So I've got one that wants to go down. He's not so sure. It's quite a high way. So I've stumbled across a kind of courting procedure here. The female, presumably the one on the top, is playing a little bit hard to get, looking a bit uninterested. Street animal behaviour can also depend on nationality. For example, when I was living in Russia before, I noticed that the street cats were more approachable, and sometimes they'd come up to you, especially the little ones whose mothers had just abandoned them. They'd be coming up crying, looking for a new mummy. Or because of the bitterly cold winters in Russia, quite often a street cat will come up to you and want to sit on your lap just to get a bit of your body warmth. Cats are cheekier and have a lot more front than dogs. On a very cold day, they will try to sneak anywhere that's inside, whereas the street dogs always prefer to remain in the street. So these ones have found a nice little place to hang out, getting some scraps from the shop here by the looks of it, and enjoying the sunshine. Unlike the street dogs, who are always roaming around looking for food, the street cats, they seem to survive on very little food or drink. My word, I was always of the impression that cats were fussy eaters. Doesn't appear to be. They are wolfing that down. They'll happily spend time with you once they get to know you. They're just obviously naturally a little bit wary at first. Interesting behaviour from this cat. I got up to go, she saw I was about to go, and then she came after me, and she just wants to mark herself against me a bit more before I go, probably so that next time I meet her she'll know that I'm friend, not foe. And although she's the smaller one, well, he or she, the smaller one's the one in charge, because the bigger white one there follows her everywhere, and she eats the food first and although this one's bigger, he's a bit wary of her. As you can see, she wears the trousers for sure. So, the little cat that was my neighbour at the hotel, she moved out with her servant to a apartment. Now her servant's gone away on a business trip, so I'm looking after her, and as you can see, she quite likes to explore. She's still young, only 6 months or something like that, so life's still an adventure for her, isn't it? I said life's an adventure for you. I think she's a bit busy at the moment.